Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Planet Tyro for the continuation of the Lupin the Third retrospective. I'm your host Donald Wanda, and I'm back to continue what I started back in 2016. Guys, as most of you already know, I've already covered the 30 plus movies and TV specials, and now I want to move on to the actual TV series. Now, I have already covered the Fujiko Mine TV series last year, so now all I have to do is go back and do the other part 1, 2, 3 and 4 series. At the time of this recording, there's only parts 1 to 4, so if there's anything in the future, I'll be sure to cover it when and if that comes down the pipeline. On that note, I do want to say there's a playlist in the top right hand corner of the YouTube card. If you click on that, it'll bring up all the past videos for the movies, the TV specials, the Fujiko TV series. It's all there. Go back and check out all that content. But of course now, we're going to be moving forward, and let's go all the way back to the early 70s to talk about the first Lupin the Third TV series, the Green Jacket series that was made in 1971, just called Lupin the Third Part 1. Now, before this TV series came into existence, there was a pilot movie made in 1969, which we already covered in a previous video, and it was a blueprint for what was to come in this TV series. Now, funny enough, the TV series still didn't get picked up for 2 years after that pilot, and for some reason, well, the key animator, once the TV series was greenlit, the key animator decided that, you know what, I want to change Lupin's jacket from red to green to show this new era, this new project we're doing for Lupin. So that's the main reason why he's wearing the green jacket, just because the key animator decided that it's a marker of this different animation project that differentiates itself from the pilot movie. But ironically, more than half of the actual TV specials and other movies, he has a red jacket. So I guess someone wanted to keep the red jackets only for the movie specials and the different color jackets for the TV specials. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I thought I'd just bring that up just to get that out of the way. The first thing I want to start off talking about actually is the animation. Now, if we go back to the early 70s and you can compare that to today, obviously you're going to be disappointed. I mean, does the animation stand up in terms of quality? No, but the animation has its own charm. This was the days of, in the Western world, you know, we had Josie and the Pussycats, all the Hanna-Barbera things, you know, Tom and Jerry. So I like the kind of stylish animation. Well, I like the style of animation of this era. And in Japan, you know, they had Speed Racer, which they brought over here as well. So the animation has its own charm. Now, the character designs are actually okay. Obviously, they follow the character designs all the way through. And this is one of the animated series, because it's old. If you look at the stills, if you just, you know, freeze frame the picture or just pause it, it looks good. When there's motion, that's when it shows its age with the motion. There's two things in particular the animation's particularly bad at, and that's fire and water. Whenever someone's caught on fire, it looks really lazy. It looks like they're just engulfed in flames. It's not like it's on top of them. It's just all engulfed. And water. Water looks really bad. When they're in water, it just looks off. I mean, this is something you will see in animation in general. They just don't animate water very well. So fire and water are the things that are not going to look good at all. Now, I'm going to praise a couple things, actually, and that's the shadowing. A lot of the shadowing they do is pretty good. And what I mean by shadowing, sometimes they use shadowing for artistic means, like when a character's hiding or when they're sinister. You know, it's not just because they couldn't animate it in full. It's because they want to use that to show some kind of espionage or shystiness. And it works, you know, and that does bring its charm. Also, again, I don't know, man, the colors are really bright. They're really poppy. And down the line, I found a lot of the Lupin animators for the other series keep it a little bit more drab. This is a very colorful, very RGB, simple colors. And that helps with the vibrancy of the animation on a whole. The background designs, meh, again. There's a few scenes where Lupin is racing with his cars, these classic cars and his guns and stuff. That looks good. I mean, some of the characters, some of the scenes where they're all together, it's fine, but overall, there's not much more to say about the animation. That it's just didn't age particularly well. Actually, there is one notable thing I will talk about, the opening. Now, in this first series, there are variations of the opening. I really like the first one. The first one's kind of iconic with the gunshot and then the car crashing through the logo, which is really awesome. And then, you know, just driving, and the last shot as well, where he drives off a cliff and he's right in front of the screen. That is awesome, and it colors red. That's the kind of stylistic things I'm talking about with the coloring that works. But again, I feel like I'm kind of squeezing for positives. The animation's dated, but it has its charm. It's not called awful, and I still find it watchable and charming. So let's move on to the sound. Now, first of all, I do want to say this first Lupin series, the Green Jacket series, wasn't officially released in the Western world, US, Britain and all that, until the last 10 years. So you can get it on Fansub, of course, and I saw a few episodes on Fansub over the years, but it was never dubbed in English. I mean, the Red Jacket series, the next one we'll talk about, that was dubbed, half of it was in English. This was never in English, so a lot of people never saw it. So what we got here, to be honest with you, is the original Japanese voice cast that, if you followed my movie, TV specials retrospective, I had problems with the voice cast as they got older. They just couldn't keep up the energy that these characters needed. Zenigata and Lupin the Third himself, they just couldn't keep it. You know, you got Yasuo Yamada and Goro Naya taking those two iconic roles, and they are young and they are perfect for the roles. And you know, these guys, I know I criticized them when I spoke about the movies, but right now, when they were first cast, they were perfect. Especially Yasuo Yamada, he's perfect as Lupin. His voice, his energy, it works really well. So it didn't bother me this wasn't in English at all. It works fine, and again, the dialogue is very slapstick, and I really enjoyed the Japanese original dub this time over. Now the soundtrack, Lupin has a history of having a really good soundtrack, but this is the first series, so it's not quite there yet. And actually, I found a lot of the music in this freestylish. I mean, it's kind of, the guy who's singing it, I wish I got his name. He's just like, Lupin, Lupin, Lupin the Third. The opening's awesome. I love that. Gala, 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 gala. No, I'm going to sing it because I can't pull it in the video because of copyright. So, and all through, like, when you're watching the episode, you'll just hear him going, Lupin, 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 very slowly, and it just lends itself to the series. It's really kind of charming, but there isn't a lot of variation. There's hardly any jazz in it. It's kind of, it's 70s, but it feels like this one guy just doing a voiceover. The ending credits as well is okay, but it's fine. It was the first time. It doesn't get jazzy until the next part and the parts moving forward. So it's got its own charm to it. It works, and the opening is just so funny. Lupin, Lupin, Lupin. So the sound overall is okay. But now let's move on to the meat and core of this, which is going to be the story and the characters. Okay, so story-wise, this is episodic. This series is episodic. I mean, the first episode, it doesn't even start with how the gang got together. There's no origin. I guess we didn't even get that in the pilot movie. They just get on with it. And Goemon's not even in the first couple of episodes, and they just go with the running from the wheels. The first episode where it's a race and Jigen and Lupin kind of swap, it's fun, it's classic Lupin, and they're all the archetypes we love and know. And it's nice to see, this is the original, it's nice to see that there's been a consistency throughout the franchise of Lupin that I've seen, and it all starts here. Jigen, you love that character, Lupin's right-hand man. Lupin is the same sinister, lovable anti-hero, and Fujiko, you know, she kind of flip-flops. First, she's kind of like the Fujiko we know, the two-timer, the untrustworthy, especially after the first couple of episodes. In the beginning, she seemed a little bit more softer, a little bit lovey-dovey, but it doesn't take long before she becomes the Fujiko we know and love. Now, Goemon is someone I want to focus on, because from the manga's conception, when the mangaka created Lupin the Third, he already had Lupin, Fujiko, and Jigen in mind. Now, I always thought Goemon was a really weird addition because he's just Japanese. The rest of the guys, the three are modern characters, and Goemon is a traditional Japanese character, and that's on purpose. Monkey Punch said that he wanted to make a character to infuse something traditionally Japanese, and that's Goemon. Now, the thing I've always had about Goemon is that I've always found him to be hypocritical. I never really understood his motivations. Like, there'll be some episodes where he says that he's on a journey for purification. Then there's other episodes where he says that he's an assassin, and this first series does not clear it up anymore, because when we first meet Goemon, he's under the training of someone to be an assassin. So I was always a bit confused. Is Goemon pure? But even his heritage. I mean, that original Goemon's Goemon the 13th, and the original Goemon was apparently a bandit. But again, in the series, he's a very questionable character. I mean, he's a hypocrite. That's what I'm just getting to. He's a hypocrite. He says he's pure, but you know, he's got a weakness for women. So when the series starts, he's against the Lupin team, which he's after Lupin because he's kind of hired to. And I don't know, man. I like Goemon. I do. He's a nice foil kind of character, nice silly character. I just kind of wished he was one way or another, because he kind of he doesn't even flip flop. To me, he doesn't even know what he wants to be. He's on this journey for his sword. It's kind of weird, but I don't want to travel on. He eventually joins the team, and actually, I do want to. There's something I want to point out, which is a fanboy thing. I noticed there's a scene in particular, like when Goemon doesn't join the team at first, and he's going up against Lupin. There's a scene in particular where him and Lupin are fighting in traffic and they're jumping over cars. I noticed they used that scene in episode 0. In that special episode 0, they took that scene from this series and used it again, which is a nice wink wink. And the episodes where they when they bring Goemon in for the first time and the Lupin team have to interact, it's fun. It was fun. I didn't mind it. Again, Goemon eventually joins, and to be honest with you, the reason why he seems to join the Lupin team is just because they're fun. That's what it really comes down to. When I was really trying to understand, I was always trying to understand what Goemon's motivation for joining the team was. And honestly, it seems like the team puts him in situations that help him better as a swordsman, as a martial artist, and it gives him fun. And the episode where he joins Lupin, they're laughing for, you know, a good 2 minutes, and I thought that was very jovial. I thought that had a sense of camaraderie. So again, moving on to the actual story, these episodes episodic. The series is only 23 episodes, so it's not really offensive. Now, of the 23 episodes, I only found 9 to be like noteworthy. I don't know, the other 15 or whatever, they're okay, but you can miss them because there's so many episodes of Lupin, as we'll see, that it's just whatever. None of them are consequential. There's one episode in particular with Fujiko where you see her past. She had a partner that tries to kill her. That's a little bit of character development. Apart from that, the first episodes where they meet, Goemon and stuff like that, there's only 9 episodes I really recommend. So I'm going to kind of wrap this up. But I think the last noteworthy thing to mention is something I never really paid attention to: Hayao Miyazaki. Now, I mentioned Hayao Miyazaki a few times, Castle Cagliostro, and even he's worked in the second series and they packaged that into a movie. I did a whole video on that, so I'll put a link to that video. Hayao Miyazaki actually had the most influence on this series because he actually directed half of the episodes of this series. Now, when I say directed, that's different from animated. I wish he animated the series because the animation quality, again, is not very good. But he decided that he needed to infuse a bit more humor and to tone it down a little bit and make it a little bit more family friendly. And I know some of the diehard Lupin fans think that's one of the biggest mistakes for Lupin. But if we go back to the 70s and we go back to anime, this was something that was being on TV that was geared towards younger people. So I think Hayao Miyazaki made the right choice to kind of soften up a little bit, and he didn't soften it up as much as he does when he has his own movie, Castle Cagliostro. But I didn't mind it. He didn't soften it up too much. So let me just summarize my thoughts on the whole of the series. It's okay. If I had to give it a rating, it's just okay. It's watchable. And looking at the fan feedback, if we look at the fans and the critics, most of the fans were disappointed. And I think the reason is because the Red Jacket series is the one everyone's seen. It has 155 episodes. And like I said, this series wasn't widely released. So when this series was released, most people had already seen the Red Jacket series. So when you go back to this Green Jacket series, the animation is less. There's not a lot of episodes. There's not a lot of foundation. A lot of the music, the jazzy music is not there. A lot of the things that we know Lupin for, the Red Jacket, is not there. And it feels kind of lackluster in that way. But again, it has that speed racer animation style. It has a bit of charm, the funny Lupin music. So people were disappointed by this, and the animation doesn't hold up. It's not as good as the second series. It's not the Lupin that maybe most people are used to. So I understand the criticism. But for me, I found it okay. It's watchable. It's not terrible by any means. It's okay. It's short. It's inoffensive. It's watchable. I would like this in the English dub, to be honest with you, because although the Japanese cast were fine, I do appreciate them. You know, English, when they get the voice actors in English for Lupin, it's a better experience as well for the English viewers like myself. But that's pretty much it. It's okay, and there's not much more I can say about it, guys. So I want to hear your thoughts on the Green Jacket series. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And yeah, there's not much to say about this series. It is what it is, and we got to move forward. And boy, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an update. The next series I got to tackle is the Red Jacket series. This is, apart from the Castle Cagliostro, this series is what Lupin is. I mean, this Red Jacket series is basically the core where all the fans come in, where we know Lupin the Third. It's 155 episodes, and I'm watching it from the beginning again. Guys, there's going to be a big gap before I get to this, because I'm watching 3 episodes a day. If you do the math, no matter how you cut it, I'm going to be back with the Red Jacket review in a couple of months. I want to gather my thoughts, get my best episodes, and give you guys the reviews you deserve. As I like to give you a little bit of an analytical, open-minded, and critical review. It's going to take a while. So guys, stay tuned. But I wanted to push this one out in February. I wanted to get this review out so you guys know, yes, I'm doing a TV series. I said it again and again and again. But the next one is the massive hurdle, Red Jacket. So look forward to that, guys. As I said before, there's a Lupin playlist that's on our YouTube channel. Look in the top right hand corner of the I button of the YouTube card. You'll get all the Lupin videos. And that's pretty much it. Until then, guys, subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up to let you know you enjoy the content. And until the next Lupin video, which again is going to be a while away, I hope you check out the other content on Planet Tyro. There's playlists. We do so many anime, manga, movies, TV shows. We're talking about Woody Allen right now, guys. Thanks for joining the channel. Thanks for sticking with us for more Lupin content. And until the next one, I'll see you later. Take care. Peace out.